just double check finally that we are live in all the platforms we want to be live. But first of all, I would like
strongly recommend you to enabling the two-factor authentication, like the 2FA, such as Google Authenticator, and this provides a extra layer of the security for your accounts. And in terms of some login or withdrawal security settings, we advise our users to leverage as many security options as possible, like Google verification, SMS verification, or email verification. Do all, because it's very crucial and very important. And also, it's also very important to maintain the account information confidential. We constantly remind our users not to share the Gate account details, including your user's name and also your passwords, with anyone. Additionally, we advise against logging in to Gate accounts from the public computers or while connected to public Wi-Fi networks, as though can be dangerous and can pose you to some significant risk. Also, regarding the protection of the personal information, actually we at Gate take this very seriously. We store users' KYC information separately and secure it using the highest level security configurations. Access to this information is very strictly limited to a very small amount of people who can really get access to this information. And we also cooperate with the third-party KYC agencies and ensure that we can only transmit the necessary information to them. And once they've processed the information, they immediately destroy it and do not retain any copies. So furthermore, we have some very strict compliance measures in place to further secure user information. So I guess by following these practices, our user can enhance their security and also protect their very valuable cryptocurrency assets and also personal information. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your input. What about you, Jeff? Like, what can you tell us then? What are the best practices?
Yeah, sure. I just add to what Zeta mentioned. So as for users' best practices, I would say it's also very important to be careful about what you download and what you click, because usually that's the first point of phishing attack. So it's good to verify, if you're not sure, to verify those links and files in some third-party websites that do this scanning of links and files. Also, it's important to keep the software up to date, because all the vulnerabilities that arise in the applications and the hardware need to be tackled by the updates. And regarding the private keys, it's also important to make sure that you store them correctly and no one has access to this, and you also have the backup of this, because once it's lost, it's gone. If we are talking about the what projects should do to prevent cyber threats, I would say first is the security first mindset. Then it's the security through all the developments of the product. And then you should do everything possible to minimize risks by internal audits within your team, do external audits. In this industry, it's better to have 2 audits or even more to diversify the views you have. Also, it's important to have bug bounties, like, for example, in Gate you're hosting at Hacken, where ethical hackers can help to enhance the security and find vulnerabilities ahead of time before actually cyber criminals can exploit them. And also, it's important to have monitoring, to be sure you're monitoring all your perimeter to be aware of any potential attacks. And as a result, it's good to have the insurance. I know that some exchanges have their insurance fund in case of security attacks to cover the losses for users. So I would say it's all the defense in depth practices that help both users and companies to minimize the risks of being hacked.
Nice. Well, very well said, both of you. I think it's very relevant what you mentioned as well, Yev, about, on the one hand, when you're like a person, like a user, to have very secure your private keys, because that's fundamental. Otherwise, you may not see anything again. And then when it comes to exchanges and projects, to monitor everything, right? To audit internally and externally, like with you guys, Hacken, that provide that extra security effort. I think it's very, very important. So, yeah, thank you so much to both of you for your answers. And following up, I would like to know, from Hacken's point of view, how does a third-party audit team like Hacken, like the services you provide, right, contribute to enhancing the security of cryptocurrency exchanges? And what are the key benefits?
Definitely. So if you're talking about external auditing, so what is this? It's in fact the review of code and functionality, and the possibility to find the vulnerability, some unauthorized access or some unintended behavior on the website or the applications, and to find the way to manipulate the balances, to get access to some other accounts, to KYC data. For example, back in 2017, when we just started, the typical problem of crypto exchanges was the possibility to get access to any documents that were submitted to KYC. Luckily, now we have less and less of this kind of issues, and the exchanges, a lot of them use third-party KYC providers, which take care a lot about data security, because the most important there is like personal data. If we are talking about how auditing contributes to security, and what we for example do, so we do this like line-by-line review of the code and trying to provide the external opinion of the code that was developed by security engineers who knows the potential risks that can arise in any of this line of code, and help to address all these vulnerabilities in advance. So what we exactly do, we go, for example, for smart contracts, we go line by line, analyzing all the functionality, all the documentation and tests, and find vulnerabilities in the code, and then suggest the recommendations how to fix them. And companies can fix the vulnerabilities, and we recheck and provide the final report where everything checked, everything fixed, and there is like less risks of being hacked. So in fact, it's like improving the security, increasing the trust of users and investors, and you're reducing the risk of getting hacked. But audits are not enough. That's why we also provide the bounties, which is the important part, because the human errors are the most well spread one, and if you have like more eyes with diversified expertise and skills and tools, you can minimize risks more. That's why we have like a huge community of ethical hackers, around 30K, who help to find these vulnerabilities and report them. Thank you.
Nice. Well, yeah, definitely, it's very important, and even more in an industry like that, when we are all working together for the same purpose, right? Like having ethical hackers, as you mentioned, contributed very positively. It's so important that it's essential, definitely, I think, personally. And also, I would like to think that you clarified at the beginning of your answer, like, what is an audit? And then you develop your answer. It's very important as well to properly understand certain concepts, right? That sense, with all this context that of how wide and broad blockchain industry is, like, I would like to know from both of you, actually, what roles does community awareness and education above all play in enhancing the overall security? Because definitely, as we mentioned before, some of the best practices could be like be aware of certain things, save your private keys and all that. That comes from some foundations that you need to have when it comes to education. So what can you tell us about what role does community awareness and education in the overall security of now our industry here. Maybe Seta can answer first if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Give it a go.
Sure. Thank you, Marina. That's a very good question. Actually, in the very rapidly evolving world of cryptocurrency and also blockchain, user awareness and also education are so important. We believe that the well-informed users are safer users. So at GateIO, we have taken initiative to empower our community through GateLive, if you have heard about it, where we provide a range of knowledge on the crypto world and including security content. And by educating our users, we equip them with the tools and also insights needed to make them, informed, to make good decisions and also protect their assets effectively. And also the crypto space, we know that it's unfortunately quite filled with scams and also security threats. So a well-informed community is less likely to fall victim to these threats. And through our educational efforts, we not only teach users about the latest security best practices, but also about how to recognize or avoid potential risks. So this proactive approach it significantly contributes to the prevention of some security incidents or potential financial loss. So that is what we think about why community awareness and also education is very important in enhancing the overall security. Yeah, thank you. Back to the host. Thank you, Marina.
Yeah, no, thank you for your answer. I would like now to lead another answer for Yev to see what is that she thinks can be, like what role does education and awareness plays. Yes, please go.
I believe the awareness, especially in cybersecurity, is vital, both for internal teams who are building and also external users. And the education here play a vital role to enhance the overall security in the blockchain industry. And I believe that crypto projects should do everything possible to minimize, the errors that users usually do. Like, for example, when they forget their passwords, they lose their devices with 2FAs and stuff like that. And also additional protection regarding trading passwords, anti-phishing codes and stuff like that. I really like how it's implemented in GateIO because I use it quite often. And there is your team did everything possible to minimize this risk of users to make an error or being hacked, because there's multi-layer protection, and it's really important for projects to do everything possible to minimize this risk of error of users, because in the end of the day, even it's decentralized, users will start complaining about the project, even though it was their responsibility to keep the private keys private and passwords secure. So first, it's important to implement that in the level of functionality, and then definitely the educational programs for users, some kind of quests, like you should pass this security questionnaire before actually trading or something like that. So it's important also from the user standpoint to be aware of risks, and security is one of the major risks there. So before actually trading using crypto, be sure that you can store and use this securely. And another interesting point from another perspective, that's sometimes what we see, that community actually pushes projects to do security. So they go and ask about who is your auditor, what do you do in terms of security? And for projects, it's important to have this information available. A lot of companies just mentioned this on the website, that we do this, and that for minimizing security risks. And here is the if you find vulnerability, for example, please report it here. So it's quite a clear process for users to report vulnerabilities, to be aware of the level of maturity of security of this company. And I believe education is really important. That's why we also have educational programs for users, how to interact with crypto securely. I believe it's a responsibility of each of us to contribute to security of the industry, whether it's a project or security provider. We all try to make this industry safer, to get trust and to be able to develop successfully. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you that all of us need to contribute, need to be responsible for our own security. And definitely if we are part of a project or a company, or we just want to create a community, we need to contribute with security aspects. It is very good that you guys are providing like educational content as well. It's definitely a very important point. We definitely do that as well at Gate. Okay, well, I think I really like all the answers that you guys provide us with. It was very interesting. It was very insightful. It is really important to be aware of those security aspects because unfortunately, at least nowadays, there's still threats out there that we need to be aware, that we need to be careful about. So I think talks like this one are very, very essential and important. And even more having like a partner like you at Hacken, it's essential as well to be aware, to be safe and to be secure, and also to provide that sense of security and safeness to our users, right? When it comes to the case of us, of Gate.io. So we are very happy with this partnership. Once we have, I have no more questions. I have to be honest. I think I covered like a big chunk of what is important when it comes to talk about cybersecurity. But definitely we have users who have dropped their questions and who have actually very interesting questions. So I will go through some of them and we will have a total of 4 questions. And obviously feel free to, I think they are mainly focused for Hacken side, right? But like definitely, certainly if you feel like contributing as well, please feel free. But this first question will go for Jeff. The user asked, I think it's great that the incident rate for projects audited by Hacken is less than 1%. But what are you doing to make sure that the audit level doesn't drop? And I think it's a very interesting question because probably, yeah, everyone would like to know. That percentage is absolutely great. But let us know, how did you manage to not drop the level?
Yeah, definitely. So, like, we are really committed to maintaining the quality of the audits and the percentage of incident rate, because we understand that it's about trust and reputation, and we do everything possible in our side to keep this standard. So first we have like really qualified, highly qualified auditors that have experience of developing blockchain applications and their background in cybersecurity, and they are constantly learning on the new technologies. And also the next one is that we are constantly developing the methodology we use and updating that. So for auditing, we have specified methodology how we review the code, which considers vulnerabilities and which is not, which tools we use, like which approaches we use. So mostly it's like manual review and understanding the business logic behind the white papers, the test cases and stuff like that. Also, we work closely with our clients, and we try to understand their needs and concerns and provide the maximum possible feedback on their code and recommendations for improvement. Because I believe this kind of collaboration, understanding more the product, the code, the team, will help to understand it better and find the vulnerabilities. And also we invest a lot in research and development and in new technologies and techniques to improve our auditing capabilities and mitigate the risks. And moreover, we contribute to standards, which is not that much in the industry, but still we work, for example, with the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance and their initiative regarding the standardizing the risk for smart contract security. So I would say that it's like constant education and the methodologies and policies in place how to do it correctly. Thank you.
Yes, well, no, thank you, because that was a great answer. It's very important, definitely, to understand your needs to be able to address them. And that's a very good point that you did. And obviously, being educated, being updated to be able to know where the threat is coming and how to properly protect yourself, right? Thank you so much for that answer. Thank you also to the user for the question. I think it was a very interesting question. The next one that I found interesting is about HAI token. The HAI token. The HAI token plays a central role in Hacken's ecosystem. Can you provide an in-depth? The HAI token. The HAI token plays a central role in Hacken's ecosystem. Can you provide an in-depth explanation?
Definitely. So products is a core of Hacken ecosystem, as it creates high utility and solve user goals and unite company with its community, which is really important. And we were committed to building a public goods community of like-minded individuals who actually contribute to building Web3 trust, which is also the main mission that we try to implement. And for end users, Hacken is kind of X-ray to verify tokens reliability through data tools and community. And high utility includes Trust Army, which is a platform that provides users with Web3 data collection tasks and education as well, where you can actually go through the cybersecurity course and get educated on this matter. Also, HDAO and ETD, which is a cybersecurity token that bakes the time of the Hacken smart contract audit team, and also Hacken Proof, which is a bug bounty platform with ethical hackers, and Hacken Extractor, which is on-chain smart contract security monitoring system, and our Hi app, which is mobile application to manage our ecosystem. You can have a lot of functionality there and also education. So to get in-depth explanation, I would recommend just to visit hacken.ai, and you will find the tokenomics paper for your own research.
Nice, thanks. Well, yeah, definitely we will recommend everyone to go and check out the webpage to get more in-depth information, that's for sure. Thank you so much for your answer. So the next one that I have found within the comments that is interesting, it's about the user says, in a rapidly evolving cybersecurity landscape, what's the most exciting trend Hacken is currently following? What are Hacken's insights into the future of blockchain security? I think it's a very interesting one. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, it's an interesting question. What we are going next, and I would say there's a couple of topics. Obviously, it's about the rise of AI and machine learning within blockchain technology, and the perspective of the AI-based security tools. And as far as we have so many open code and data sets for educating AI, I believe it's a great potential for this technology in this sphere. Also, not a trend, but the reality I would say that we see is that we're going to the regulation side and also for security. And for example, in UAE, you would need to go through security audit also to get a license. And I know that that a lot of exchanges going through this right now, and the requirements for audits and the licensing will become more strict. And I believe it would build more trust and reliability as well as security, because every project would be obliged to do security, not by their wishes. And I believe that also new blockchain security protocols that we see in the market, such as zero knowledge proofs, will be developed to protect sensitive data and privacy in the future. And we see a lot of this kind of applications right now. And I believe it would be more and more on the market. And as far as we are committed to stay ahead of all the new technologies and threats in the blockchain security, we are constantly investing and researching the market. And it's been a really interesting journey because it's evolving so fast that no time to rest, all time researching and educating.
Definitely, it's very, very interesting future ahead. And even more, as you mentioned at the beginning of your answer, with AI being developed as fast as it's been, and new apps being developed as well. It's very, very interesting. Well, thank you so much for your answer, Yev. It was great. Thank you so much also to the user who dropped that question. And now we come to the last question, but I think it's very interesting as well. It says, Hacken has a remarkable history of growth and impact. Can you provide insight into the challenges and milestones Hacken has experienced since its foundation in 2017, and how the company has evolved to become a prominent player in the cybersecurity field? I think it's a very interesting, because you guys have been around for a while already, so I bet you have not only achieved very important milestones, but also faced some challenges. And yeah, please bring us some information about that. What insight can you provide about it?
It's a great question. It's quite a long answer because we've been on the market for quite long already, and definitely being in crypto is everyday challenge. And but we started in 2017 with the idea to launch the Bug Bounty platform, and we did an ICO and we were starting developing the platform. But at some point, some of our friends from the crypto industry asked us to help with the security, as far as a major part of our team is from traditional cybersecurity industry, and we've been doing source code review, penetration tests, and audits for quite long. We decided to help with this smart contract audits back in 2017. And from that time, we understand that we can not only build the products, but also they help with the services and our knowledge we have to help the projects around us to be more secure. Because Bug Bounty is obviously one part of that, but being audited first, it's an important one. And we started to develop the service, and in 2017 and 18, there were a lot of projects I wanted to launch, and we also helped them with the phishing protection, because back then there were a lot of phishing websites and that cloning the wallets, the websites itself, and doing the malicious activities. So we started developing services, growing the team, and starting also looking what other challenges are in the market and how we can solve them. And in 2019, I believe, we came with the idea of getting the cybersecurity rating of crypto exchanges, which is called CR.live, where you can see the level of commitment in terms of security that crypto exchanges do. And back then we were integrated with CoinGecko, and cybersecurity now is the part of the trust score, which is quite obvious, because cybersecurity is also a part of trust that users should look for before going to any exchange or interacting with any product, to see who is the auditor, what is audited, and what projects do to secure the data and money. So we've been building some products along the way, and going through crypto winter was quite challenging, but we survived, and start with the products and expanding the product line there, and also working all this time in the community, building the app for community and educational materials to help more users to be aware of security threats. And at some point of time, we understand that standardization is really important in the along the way, and we started to contribute to different crypto exchanges alliances, to Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and to some other alliances to share our expertise to make sure that we can kind of standardize like what audits are, what smart contract vulnerabilities are, and share this knowledge to help the industry. It's been like an interesting time. I also like growing the team, growing the customer base, partner base, and going to a lot of events and sharing the knowledge of how to make companies secure, and sharing some vulnerabilities we found with the community, and building tools. And challenges definitely is during all the time, because this industry is so fast changing that you should be always up to date with what's going on. And some products can be not relevant anymore, which was like relevant a couple of months ago. So that's always the way of try, make mistakes, and learn lessons and move on. Yeah, that's all from my side.
No, wow, it was an amazing answer. Obviously, as you said, you could be talking about it for hours. Like, you guys have been around for a while, as we mentioned before.
Hello, Marina.
Yeah, I believe we lost Marina.
Yeah, we lost Marina now. Okay, we may wait a little bit for her to get back.
Yes.
I think Marina got some technical issues. So, yeah.
About that. Not actually completely sure about what happened there. I guess I'm not a very technical person when it comes to some of these things. But fortunately, it was we are reaching actually the end of saying, contributed to what Jeff was saying, that you guys have definitely a future ahead being part of this industry. And as we said, we've been talking about your adventure, your path in this industry since 2017 for a while, as well as GatePath as well, because we've been here for a while as well. But yeah, let's wrap it up because definitely the time has come. Thank you so much for all the questions you guys have dropped. Also, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you not only enjoyed the AMA, but you also learned about cybersecurity. I would like to thank Seta and Jeff about their contribution, about their answers, and how much input they gave us about cybersecurity and how important it is. Maybe you guys want to do like a final, drop a couple of lines before we say goodbye. Maybe Jeff, you can go first.
Yeah, sure. I would say that in terms of security, it's good to think about this in advance. So if you were waiting for a sign to check your passwords, your 2FAs and private keys, it is this time, and be proactive on cybersecurity, not to react too late. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely that is essential. It's better to be prepared in advance. Seta, would you like to contribute with something else?
Yeah, maybe I do some conclusion for Gate.io on this AMA session. Actually, Gate.io for our mission has always been to prioritize some safety and also reliable transactions as one of the very longest standing 10 years we have. And not just trading platforms, we understand that the importance of blockchain asset security. So we are very happy to work with Hacken for so many years. We appreciate them. They have a lot of security knowledge and they do a very great job in protecting everyone. So thank you very much.
That is very true. Thank you so much for your work, guys, at Hacken, for helping all of us, not only to protect ourselves, but also to understand how important it is. Okay, well, as I said, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Thank you very, very much to Hacken and to Jeff for joining us today, for doing this talk. I think it was very inspiring. Thank you, Seta, also for joining us today. And I hope you guys have a very nice day, wherever you're in the world. Also, be aware of those threats out there now that we have been talking about security. Just be aware of that and educate yourself about how to protect yourself better. And if you have any question, go and talk to Hacken people in their social media platforms, in their webpage, anywhere you want to, or you have a question for that, just drop it. You also have us, Gate.io, here on Twitter, on Telegram, anywhere you want. If you have any question or any doubt, please reach out because we're more than happy to help and to contribute. So yeah, definitely thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Hacken, and thank you, Gate.io, for today's session. I think it has been great. I think it's been inspiring and we have learned a lot. And we'll definitely stay tuned for more AMAs coming your way. So I hope you guys have a nice day. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you, that and the whole Gate.io team. And it's a great pleasure to collaborate with you. And yeah, have a good day all.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been great talking to you today. Also to Seta. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, whatever you are in the world. Okay, and stay tuned for more news coming your way from Gate.io and from Hacken. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.